let me introduce you the first author of this presentation, who is Maria Smakova. She is the director of the first independent high school. Actually, she is my former chemistry teacher, because I was a student at the first independent high school, and actually she's my mother as well. So we are now teaching together the chemistry at this school, and I will tell you something more about the school. It is very different from other schools in Slovakia. You can see the national educational program is very similar to Czech Republic, I would say. It was established in 1991 as a 4-year study program, so as a high school, and it was still Czechoslovakia. Then later, in 1994, there was an 8-year study program involved, and it was already Slovakia independent, and there were several political reforms during this time, and there are two important dates. In 1996, there was established a school program for science for the, let's call it middle school, because in Slovakia there is separately taught chemistry in elementary and in the high school, and we decided to change it in our school. And in 2006 there was a major change in our school program, of course allowed by the Minister of Education, Science, Research and Sport. So because of the lot of reforms in educational system in Slovakia, actually since 2008 there was a reform every second year. So basically it's impossible to follow the reforms and still being able to teach anything. And because of these reforms, they were basically only formal. So they are decreasing the number of hours for teaching, for example, chemistry, but there was no content change. So we decided in our school that we are going to make our special curriculum, which are based on these 5 things. The first one is the art of the teacher that is forming the curriculum, who has to be very much involved in the forming of it, and who is also choosing the basic content, because the basic content of the chemistry teaching is not set in Slovakia. Basically it's that the national educational program in Slovakia is trying to teach everybody everything, and is following the science of chemistry, not the teaching of chemistry. Then we are trying to connect, of course, all the topics with the real life, and for the children to reach a complex view of studying phenomenon. And therefore we are trying to specialize their education and their general education. So I'll go through all these topics. The teacher, as I said, has a major problem to choose the concepts that are in the basic content, and they're supposed to be necessary and sufficient condition for the next level education and for the next self-education in the field. Of course, then the teacher can apply the training of cognitive abilities and key competences, which is very important for our school as well. The basic content in our school is the creation of images and abstractions and associations about the structure of the substances. Exactly the first year of the separate studying of chemistry is the structure of substance and characteristics of periodic table, and then the second year's chemical change. We are trying to minimize the memorizing of element characteristics, which is very, the Slovakian classical teachers are fond of memorizing everything. So we are trying to minimize that. The connection with the real life is nowadays very important for the students, and not following the science, and therefore they are thinking that it's very difficult, and they are not motivated to study science further, and therefore we are trying to choose the real content and study the relations between the concepts, and then to trade the abilities. Actually, in this point, we have integrated thematic education, and we have experienced that for 25 years now, since the school was established. And I went through this as a student as well, so I can see the positives of this approach. For example, this year, the students that are in the pre-last grade, they are specialized, so in the field of science and technology they chose these kind of project themes. The chemistry is integrated in the, for example, diabetes project or the heartbeat project. We call these projects, and if we say anything about the projects in Slovakia, most of the teacher will just wave the hand like, yeah, everybody's doing the project, so it's nothing new. But actually, I will show you at this water pollution project, which is also from this year, how does it look like. So the 3 students of age 15, and these projects are obligatory for all the students in all the grades. So the 3 students of age 15 decided that they want to study water. Mostly the theme of the project is set by themselves and is varied a little bit from us as a teachers. And these projects are 15% of their final grade in all the subjects that are integrated. For example, for the water pollution project, there is integrated chemistry, biology, geography, informatics, and German language, since they like it. And the setup of the project, the team, and first consultation of the outcome of the project is in June. And the consultants are teachers, and later on, when they are older, when the students are older, they have external teachers, for example, from the Slovak Academy of Science or wherever is somebody who can tell them something to the chosen team. Then during the July and August, they are preparation. They make a preparation for their project, and actually it's their holidays. So we don't have we are not much in touch with them, but they're still doing it. For example, for these 3 students, they they were picking samples during their holiday, samples of water wherever they were, mostly in Slovakia, and they were preparing some theory about the water pollution. Then during the September, they are working on their theory preparations. They are making some consultations with the teachers of all the subjects, and actually these 3 were brilliant, and they were also doing analysis in laboratory of the chosen things. For example, we were studying the analysis of bonbon or other elements. And during the October, they are making a written output, which is for this project, it's approximately 45 pages written, so it's similar to a bachelor thesis. It's done for a small group of children, and they are very proud that they can hand something really long and valuable for themselves because they did it themselves. And actually next week is going to be finishing of these projects, because next week they have a presentation of their project, and it's for this group, for example, it's 120 minutes in front of the rest of the class, and they supposed to educate their classmates in the theme that they chosen. And for me as a teacher, I'm just consulting, and I'm then evaluating their work. And then later on I'm putting this theme into the tests that they are writing. So the specialization in our school is changed according to the national educational program, since we have science, which include biology, chemistry and physics for the let's say lower or elementary school from the age of 10 to 13, and then these subjects are separated. For 3 years they are studying biology separately, chemistry and physics separately, and then in the age of 16 they are choosing their profile subjects. And there are of course obligatory subjects, languages, mathematics and so on, and there are triplets of the profile subjects that they can choose from. For example, the chemistry is in the triplet of biology, chemistry and physics, but it depends on what they are trying to reach, where they are going to study, or what is their thinking about the future occupation. So it's changeable. And adding to this, they are choosing 4 up to 6 subjects as seminars, and we are offering chemistry, which is a 2-year seminar, and biochemistry, that is a 1-year seminar. The key competencies training is very well, for our school it's very usual, and we are used to it nowadays, but in the rest of Slovakia it's not very usual, because it was formal change of one of the reforms, that the teachers are looking at it, they don't understand it, and they are looking at it like, I'm supposed to teach, and then adding to it, I'm supposed to train some competencies that I don't understand. So it's very difficult for the teacher to do both things, because they don't understand that it's the same thing. So we are trying to choose the right content to train the key competencies. And also with this integrated thematic education, the children are learning training their own responsibility for the learning process. And for this year we have this kind of motto, that the task shouldn't be attractive, but it should be motivating, which is a difference. So we are trying to do this, and that's for me. Thank you for your attention.